Dear students, this is our first class for this new academic year. First of all, let me welcome you all to the English class. I have already given you an introduction about the whole units, and let us straight away go to the lesson. Your first lesson is a story written by an Irish novelist and writer, Liam O'Flaherty. The title of the story is His First Flight. This is a story of a young seagull who is afraid to make his first flight. Let me tell you frankly why this story is included as the first lesson, because the theme of the story is the need for confidence, need for willpower, need for courage, and the need for taking calculated risk. That is the success mantra of everyone's life. The first story clearly tells us about the need for all these things. That is why this story is included as the first one for your English. And let me tell you, this story should be an inspiring factor for the whole 2 years. It is a boosting lesson for the next coming units. Okay, let us begin the lesson. I will show you the textbook in front of you. Let me tell you one thing, every one of you should have a textbook with you. If not, you can't understand anything. Okay, let us start the lesson. Read the given story. Okay, right. Okay, here is the first paragraph. Hope you have read the lesson. What do you understand from that first paragraph? You can see a picture there. In that picture, a young seagull is there alone on his ledge. What's meant by seagull? Seagull, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാമായിരിക്കും, കടൽക്കാക്ക എന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ സീഗളിനെ പറയുക. കടൽക്കാക്കകളെയാണ് സീഗൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. In that picture you can see that a young seagull is alone there on the ledge. What's meant by ledge? You can understand from that picture itself, a narrow path of a rocky side is called ledge. And it is said that his 2 brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. His brothers and his sister already learnt the art of flying, but this young seagull is still there on the ledge, unable to fly. Because what is the reason? The reason is there in the next sentence. He had been afraid to fly with them. Though his brothers and sisters flown away, this young seagull was afraid to fly with them. He made an attempt. He went back and ran towards the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, but the moment he is about to fly, an unknown fear came to him. When he look at the sentence, when he looked at the great expanse of the sea. What's the great expanse of the sea? ഈ കല്ലിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ നിന്ന് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ കാണുന്നത് വലിയ വിശാലമായ കടലാണ് താഴെ. So when he saw that vast expanse of the sea, he found it very difficult to fly. That great expanse of the sea stretched down beneath, and he himself felt that he couldn't, his wings wouldn't support him. That is the reason by which he was unable to fly. He so bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. So it is clear that he failed on the first attempt. So he went back to his little hole and slept at night. ഇതിൽ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഫസ്റ്റ് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ആണ്. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ സ്കൂളിലൊക്കെ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് കുട്ടികൾ പോകുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്കറിയാം, 1ാം ക്ലാസ്സിലൊരു കുട്ടിയെ ചേർത്താൽ കുട്ടി കരഞ്ഞ് വിളിച്ച് തിരിച്ച് ക്ലാസ്സിലിരിക്കാൻ മടി കാണിക്കും. അതുപോലെ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഏത് കാര്യത്തിലായാലും ഫസ്റ്റ് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് will be very difficult. We have to overcome that struggled situation. ഇപ്പോൾ ഡ്രൈവിംഗ് പഠിക്കുമ്പോഴായാലും നമ്മൾ ആദ്യം ഒരു സ്ട്രഗിൾ ഉണ്ടാവും. നമ്മൾ പേടിച്ചിട്ട് പുറകോട്ടേക്ക് പോയാൽ we can't ever learn the art of driving. That actually happens in each and every case. The same is the case with the young seagull. It failed in his first attempt to fly. Okay, let us see what happens in the next paragraph. All right? Okay, now read the second paragraph. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, he failed to muster up courage and to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. See, already said that his two brothers and his little sister already learnt the art, but comparing to his wings, their wings are comparatively shorter, but still they learnt the art of flying. But this young seagull is still there on the ledge, unable to fly because he failed to muster up courage. What is mean muster up? Muster up means gather, collect courage. He failed to collect courage to take that plunge. What is take that plunge? Take that jump. Plunge means here jump. കാരണം ആ കല്ലിന്ന് ചാടിയാൽ മാത്രമേ ഈ സീഗളിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം പറക്കാൻ പറ്റൂ. ആ ചാട്ടം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട് ടാസ്ക്. രണ്ടും കൽപ്പിച്ച് അവിടുന്ന് ചാടണം. ബട്ട് ദറ്റ് സീഗൾ couldn't muster up courage to take that plunge. So he became very desperate, means very disappointed, because he couldn't jump out of that ledge. See, what is his father and mother doing here? The next sentence tells us that his father and his mother had come around calling him shrilly, scolding him, threatening him, and let him starve on his ledge. His father and mother is motivating him or shouting. Shrilly means here shouting. Come on, come on. Vannolu, vannolu ennu paranjittu they are shouting. Even they shouted, but the young seagull didn't move up. So they scolded him. But no result. At last they threatened him that they will make him starve the whole day. At last they threatened him. അപ്പോൾ മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുമില്ല, ചീത്ത പറഞ്ഞുമില്ല, അവസാനം പട്ടിണി കിടത്തും എന്ന് വരെ പറഞ്ഞു നോക്കി. എങ്കിൽ മാത്രമേ ഈ യങ് സീകള് പുറത്തേക്ക് ചാടൂ. ദാറ്റ് വാസ് ദ last trick they used to make the bird fly. But for the life of him, he couldn't move. Or inch volum he couldn't move. He went back. Now the next, I hope you understand that paragraph. The next paragraph, that is third paragraph. Now it is 24 hours. Means the whole one day passed. Nobody came towards that young seagull to console him, to tell him anything. Nobody, his father, mother, brothers, sisters, ആരും approach ചെയ്തില്ല. So the last day, all the day long, he watched his parents teaching his brothers and sisters and perfecting them the art to fly. That means how to skim the waves, how to dive for fish, everything. So the last day he was watching his father and mother teaching his brothers and sisters how to catch fish, how to dive for fish, everything. That means they were perfecting him the art of അല്ലേ. നമ്മൾ ഒരു കല പഠിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ അതിനൊരു പെർഫെക്ഷൻ വരാനുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഡ്രൈവിംഗ് നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ശേഷമാണ്, ഡ്രൈവിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആർട്ട് പഠിച്ചതിന് ശേഷം ആണ് നമ്മൾ അതിലൊരു പെർഫെക്റ്റിംഗ് ഉണ്ട് അല്ലേ. ഏത് റൂട്ടിൽ പോകാനും ഏത് ചെറിയ വഴിയിലൂടെ വനും റിവേഴ്സ് എടുക്കാനും എല്ലാം പഠിക്കുന്നത് അതിൻ്റെ സെക്കൻഡ് സ്റ്റേജിലാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഹിസ് 2 brothers and 1 sister already learned the art of flying, but their parents are perfecting him. എങ്ങനെ ഡൈവ് ചെയ്യാം, എങ്ങനെ ഫിഷിനെ ക്യാച്ച് ചെയ്യാം, അതിൻ്റെ സെക്കൻഡ് സ്റ്റേജസ് ഒക്കെ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുന്നത് he watched all those things there on the last day. And one more thing is that what made him more disappointed is he could see that his elder brother catch his first herring and devour it. He could see his brother catching the first herring. What is meant by herring? A small fish. ആദ്യത്തെ ഇര, ഹിസ് ബ്രദർ ആദ്യത്തെ ഇര പിടിക്കുക, അതൊരു വലിയ സംഭവമാണ് ആസ് ഫാർ ആസ് ബേർഡ്സ് ആർ കൺസേൺ അല്ലേ. ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇര പിടിക്കുക എന്ന് വെച്ച് ദേ ബിക്കെയിം ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻറ്റ്, അതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ സിമ്പൽ, ദേ ബിക്കെയിം ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻറ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ അത് കണ്ടപ്പോൾ ദിസ് ബേർഡ് ബിക്കെയിം മോർ ഡിസപ്പോയിൻറ്റഡ്. So the next paragraph, let us go through the next paragraph. Okay, next paragraph. We can see that his parents laughing at his cowardice. His parents were laughing at him. കളിയാക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി. Because of his what is going to be cowardice? Cowardice means lack of courage. In Malayalam we say ഭീരുത്വം. So he became much disappointed. The young seagull became disappointed. Now the next day means about 20-24 minutes passed. He felt the heat. He had not eaten since previous nightfall because he was starving the whole day. Nobody came to him. There was no one to help, no food at all. So he felt very hungry. Then he had found a dried piece of mackerel's tails at the far end of the ledge. What he could see is a small dried piece of mackerel's tail is there. What is meant by mackerel? Mackerel is very common. നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന മീനാണ് അയല എന്ന് പറയുന്ന മീനാണ് മാക്കറൽ. അപ്പോൾ മാക്കറൽസ് ടെയിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ഡ്രൈഡ് പീസ് കുഡ് സീ. Now there was not a single scrap of food left, but he couldn't eat that mackerel's tail because there was not even single food there, unable to eat. He had searched every inch rooting among the rough dirt-caked straw nest where he and his brothers and sister had been hatched. Now he went back to the dirt-caked straw nest. What is maybe dirt-caked straw nest? കൂട്, സ്ട്രോ കൊണ്ടുണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടുള്ള പക്ഷിയുടെ കൂടാണ്. where he and his 2 brothers and 1 sister had been hatched. They're അവരുടെ വീട്. But there he even see the pathetic helpless situation of that young seagull is seen in the next line. അത്രയും pathetic ആയിട്ടുള്ള സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണ് അടുത്ത ലൈൻ. നമ്മൾ വായിച്ചാൽ മനസ്സിലാവും. He even gnawed at the dried piece of eggshells. What does it mean? He even gnawed at the dried piece of eggshell. ഈ പക്ഷികൾ വിരിഞ്ഞ ആ എഗ്ഷെല്ലിൻ്റെ ഡ്രൈഡ് പീസ് പോലും ഭക്ഷണത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിച്ചു. അതിനകത്തെന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് പോലും നോക്കി. അവർ തന്നെ വിരിഞ്ഞ് പുറത്തേക്ക് വന്ന എഗ്ഷെല്ല് പോലും സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യുക എന്ന്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ലൈക്ക് ഈറ്റിംഗ് എ പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ഹിംസെൽഫ്. So that sentence tells us how sad, how pathetic, how helpless that bird is. His parents are not approaching him, not giving him food. unable to fly, no way to catch his food. That is the helpless situation. That is what we can see here in this paragraph. So we have already covered 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs here. Now let us, I think you understood the theme. Now let us see the questions. There are 3, 4 questions here. I will show you the questions and let us discuss the answers. Okay, right? Okay, here is the first question. What is the question? Why was the seagull afraid to fly? See, next class onwards I will not give you the answers and you have to find out the answer by yourself. But since this is the first class, I will give you the hints of the answer. Why was the seagull afraid to fly? What is the reason? We have already discussed in the first paragraph, because when he looked at the vast expanse of the sea, he felt that his wings wouldn't support him. That was the reason. When he looked at the vast expanse of the sea, he felt that, or he thought that his wings wouldn't support him. That was the reason by which the seagull afraid to fly. Okay, right? Okay, here is the second question. The question is there in the textbook itself. What did his parents do to motivate the young seagull? What did his parents do to motivate the young seagull? I think we have already discussed the answer. They did 3 things. First of all, they shouted at him, that means motivated him. Then they scolded him, and at last they threatened him to starve. Now look at the third question. How did the parents support and encourage the young seagull's brothers and sister? The third question is, we had seen in the third paragraph that answer is there in the third paragraph. They were trying to perfect them the art of flight. They taught them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. They taught them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. That is the answer of the third question. Clear? Okay, let's pass on to the next one. Okay, next question, that is fourth question, is cite an instance which shows the pathetic condition of the young bird. Did you get the answer? Answer is there in the last part of fourth paragraph. We saw that he was starving for the last 24 hours and he searched everywhere for food, but he couldn't get. At last, he even gnawed at the dried piece of eggshell from which he and his brothers and sister were hatched. That actually is the pathetic condition of the young seagull, because it was like eating a part of himself. So what I have given here is questions and its answers. Answer is given in a detailed way. What you have to do is you should write down these question and answers in your notebook in your own words, and you can make use of my lecture for the same, but the answer should be in your own words. And I hope that you understood that first 4 paragraph. Okay, let us stop here and we can begin the next paragraph onwards, next class. Okay, right? Thank you.